The Manuscript of Survival, Part 421. July 3, 2014. Mankind have a long history of thinking themselves inferior to almost anyone they care to compare them with, and so, they have for eons kept making themselves smaller as they go, even if their ego has become more than a little inflated. Let us explain. The grandness that is within each and every single human being has been left unexposed for far too long, and what has grown instead is that facsimile, the hubris, the idea of superiority over every living being that this planet of yours harbor. And so, instead of seeking within to your true greatness, you have tried to stifle the feeling of inferiority by literally trampling upon everyone and everything around you, the better to get a chance to raise your head a fraction above that dank and muddy mire you have so long tried to disentangle yourself from. Well, as you all know, this inability to connect simply left you all sinking deeper and deeper into the mud, with the result that the scramble to find purchase resulted in ever more frantic and empty gestures in a futile attempt to stop the sinking, but to no avail. But then, the brightest lights amongst you suddenly realized that the only way to stop sinking was to let go of the idea of a power struggle, and simply let yourself sink all the way down to your own core, and there, you found the leverage you needed to lift not only yourself, but also so many of your fellow men free from this battlefield of vanities and greed that so many still find themselves almost drowning in. And so, you let go of the old ideas, those superimposed views of mankind as nothing more than a shallow beast needing to fight for their lives in a very literal way, and where the idea of the survival of the fittest had grown into a veritable feast of astounding ignorance and blindness. But you chose the other way. You chose to lift yourself up by allowing the light to permeate every single cell of your being, and doing so, you also let this light penetrate all the way down to the deepest layers of this quagmire, letting it into heart after heart in so many of those still struggling souls. And so one by one, you extricated yourselves from the mud, and one by one, you let the light sluice off every last vestige of this toxic waste that has inhibited nearly every single part of your wondrous potential, and like the seeds in the spring, you sprang into life and started to grow and evolve and stretch yourself ever further towards the stars. And as you grew, you enabled the light to penetrate even deeper still. For just like the leaves of the plant will extract nutrition directly from the sunlight, so too did you by allowing the light to shine all the way into your very core, setting off a process much like the photosynthesis in a leaf, whereby you extracted life force and nutrients directly from the incoming light and turned it into a vital substance that helped to fuel not only your growth, but was more than enough to ignite the fires of so many others around you too. For you have acted as veritable force fields, dear ones, walking emitters of living energy in a way that no others have accomplished before you, and in your wake, you have left acres of newly planted fields, all primed and ready to start to blossom at a speed that will serve to take your breath away. And now, those seeds that we have talked about in so many missives already have now been primed and set off to spring into life again, and with it, a whole new way of being human will emerge. For you will no longer be the ones that will govern their life on the lies that turned you into fear-filled beasts scrambling in the mud. You have seen that by only allowing yourself to seek sustenance from the right source will you be able to thrive, not just as individuals, but also as a whole. For you will no longer seek to climb to the top, stepping on anything and anyone you can in order to bring you just that much higher than your equals. For now, you will start to consider yourselves as equals, as you will all see that you are no more, but also certainly no less than anyone you would care to compare yourselves with, both on this planet and off it. For you will see your greatness for what it really is, and you will find your sustenance by seeking together in groups, supporting each other and lifting each other up, as a group, not as competitors, and through that, you will elevate all of mankind to that lofty perch with the most wondrous of views. For you are not here to trample in the mud, you are here to reach for the stars in every way, and you are here to do so as a collective, where every single individual has an ingrained sense of brotherhood and belonging, and where no borders, whether they be on a piece of paper or in your minds, will have any jurisdiction over you ever again. For you are simply one, and that is what you have come to remember, and that is what you have already accomplished to such a degree. You will help to pull the remainder of humanity with you into the circle of light that you have already formed. And where you have gone, is where the future lies for all of humanity, and so, for every step you have taken on this journey, you have made all of creation step forward one more step. You are the leaders, the ones that set the pace and take out the direction, and you have chosen well, dear ones, for you have chosen light and you have chosen life in the most vibrant of forms. And so again we thank you all for doing what you do and for being who you are, and we would also like to say thank you for what you are about to do. For now, the old ways and the old lies will be no more, for you will serve to disconnect your reality from that old illusion of inferiority once and for all, as you step across that threshold into the infinity that awaits you all. For the light is beckoning you to take that next step, and it will be a huge one, and it is also one you will complete with aplomb. For there is nothing or no one standing in your way now, not even your mind, as you let yourself be lifted on the strong gusts of wind that come soaring in from source, here to make you soar along with them to the stars and beyond, but still having your feet on the ground in a way that will bring these worlds together again after lifetimes of separation. For you will not ascend by way of floating off into space, you will ascend by bringing heaven down to earth and make it come alive all around you. And that, dear ones, is the task you came here to fulfill, and it is a task you will literally love into becoming a reality. For this is not toil and travail, this is a labor of love, and now, the birth of the new is imminent. You are giving life to it all through your physical vehicle, and you are making a wonderful job of it, and for that we cannot thank you enough. Let us leave it at that, but not before we remind you to give yourselves all the applaud and all the acclamation you so deserve. For you are truly unique in all of creation, and what you are allowing to come about, has not been created before anywhere in existence. So greet yourselves as the true creators you really are, and know that you deserve nothing less. The Constant Companions. Channeled by Asia North. asianorth.wordpress.com